Hey everybody, welcome back. Hope everyone enjoyed their week 13 break, went and touched some grass, hung out with like loved ones, people who care about them. Really just refreshed. I know I went to a friend's ranch, had no cell service for like 3 days, drove side by sides, played football, saw zebras in the middle of Texas. Mind-boggling, by the way, that people have those. Absurd. Super cool. Absolutely smoked one in a drag race with a side by side. So, you know, had myself a good race in the off season. But yeah, we're back with the recap videos, and we're kicking things off with the first series to take off for the season, the Broken Wing Racing League Falken Championship. Notice not series, championships now. Um, we started that's our LMP3 GT4 multi-class series, sponsored by RDocs. I know if you're running the LMP3, you can get some discounts and stuff. So if you want, check it out. The Discord, our Discord and website links are in the bio. Bio, what in the world? Bio, or the description, I should say. So let's hop into to this race. We were at Charlotte Roval 2025, and yeah, the hairpin is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I think I'd rather go out and cut the grass at 4 in the afternoon on, like, August 2nd in the middle of Texas than do that roval or that hairpin again in my life. Horrendous, horrible, terrible. But that being said, we had a really fun race last night. The new GT4 physics that came with the overhaul seemed to have brought a lot of people out. We had pretty packed grid. It was a good time. Ton of chaos, ton of carnage. People were spinning, getting crashed into, crashing into. It was an adventure. I think the first like 4 or 5 laps, I think I dodged like 3 or 4 cars just dying in front of me. I had one pretty sweet dodge from Tyler Bramble spinning in front of me. So a bit chaotic. I know there's a lot of new guys, and I know it could have been a bit daunting, a little bit nerve-wracking with some of the craziness happening around you, some of the blue flag stuff. It's your first race. You might be new. Just keep at it. You'll pick up speed like you couldn't believe. Let's jump into it. We'll start with the LMP3 class. Newcomer to the series, Nick Mazza. He's a regular on Sunday. Demon on the track. He takes a win. I know Jacob had a pretty good hold on things for a while. He unfortunately got caught in some blue flag traffic that I mean, for most of us mere mortals would have put him out of the top 5. He, has a disappointing second. That's pretty absurd. Peter, I think he had some issues. If I'm not mistaken, he had a drive-through. I don't know, something happened. I know he didn't maximize his day, but still a podium. It'll be very interesting. And really, the biggest surprise is I know Zach Aber had some issues technology wise. I believe he had some computer and or VR issues that really held him out of contention. I don't think he even got to take the start. He could just be like a lion playing with its meal. He's just toying with everyone, letting them think they have a chance, and then just go on an absolute tear. Who knows? But he gifted everyone a head start on him. We'll see how that transpires throughout the rest of the season. Into the GT4 class, Austin and Chris had pretty pretty fantastic races. I know Austin led most of it, had an unfortunate pit stop snafu. He had a long pit stop, maybe took tires, not sure the exact story on that, but he had a pretty decent lead and got evaporated. And Chris just took it from there. I think Austin was catching him, but then unfortunately got a black flag for too many incidents and had to serve a drive-through that ended his bid for the win. But I mean, getting second, and I believe I read the chat right. He had about 15 minutes of practice, maybe. I think if we're being generous there, so it's pretty savage, but nonetheless, Chris takes his season 1 championship in starts off strong with another win. Like I said, we had a pretty large field here. I think 25 people actually scoring points. So I know there were battles up and down the field. Myself and man, I don't remember who, but we had a couple of pretty insane runs through the chicanes and out of the hairpin. Um, I know Joshua Grosso, I believe he spun from up at the front on like turn one, was at dead last and worked his way back to fourth. It's a hell of a run for him there. That's very impressive. Alex, repping the Mustangs, a lot of Mustangs today, and I gotta say I quite enjoyed it. They sound pretty freaking awesome. They sound cool. They got fancy pit limiter lights. They were the new snazzy thing. Um, but yeah, that was a good race. I think we all had a lot of fun. Like I said, there was a bit of blue flag drama. Some of the newer guys not quite knowing the way things work, but they'll all start getting it and they'll get faster and not even have to worry about it. This is a really short track, so running into lap traffic was bound to happen and be probably somewhat of an issue for the top guys, but it was great start to the season. I look forward to Mexico in a couple of weeks. See how things are shaking out. New to this season, we added a team championship. Fun stuff. Yes, yes, I know. In first place, a team that was literally formed in the practice lobby of the race. Myself and Austin McGill of Valhalla D's Nuts Racing. We got a pretty commanding lead week one. What can I say? Probably should have won. Got second. Just my usual cruising around trying to avoid death. Mid pack monster getting like 11th, and we take the lead. Couple of, let's see, 40 Thieves Racing. I like that name. Think Little Lugnuts, a league classic. Here's a good one. Secondi's Pickleballs Racing, not pickleball the sport, which I told them if they want to see the court, I am a just an absolute menace at the kitchen line. Backhand flick, untouchable. Pretty monster serve, very poor movement. If you start moving me laterally, it's game over. You're gonna win. A couple of series regulars, Lambeth and Jacob Simmons. That should be a good team. Pretty tough to beat. Another series regular team, Draft Punk with Elliot and Peter. I think Elliot couldn't make it. That's why their number uh, looks low. They'll definitely be a team to beat. Um, Bluth Banana Stand for all of you Arrested Development fans. Pretty killer liveries, if I do say so. I was checking those out. Quite a fan of them, Mark and Jeff. Um, yeah, I think the team stuff's always fun. I think people get creative with their names, their liveries, all of that. So real excited to see how that goes. But yeah, I think this was a great way to start the new season. It was nice to touch some grass, but I'm thrilled and excited to be back on the rig, um, and back to racing. I think number of races going on this week, probably ARCA, V's and Rays, and F4s, and then the big Kahuna Sunday night. We'll have the GT3 Sprint Championship starting up at the Red Bull Ring. I'll be sure to drop a video on Monday recapping that, and there's a big showing of cars and a lot of teams and liveries. Maybe we do a little midweek um, livery like review. I'll just pull the server up and we'll go through everyone's cars and see who has the coolest paint jobs. I think that would be a fun time. So with all that, I think that's all we got for this one. Not super long, just kind of going over the race we had. And yeah, like I said, you ever have any comments, suggestions, clips? I'm down to play clips. Everything you got, send it my way. And with that, have a good week one, everybody. See ya.